What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Daily Refinement. My name is Chris. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I have a very important episode. I apologize for my absence. I'm a little bit under the weather. You can kind of hear it in my voice still, but I'll do the best I can today. Today I want to talk about me kicking somebody out of my Patreon group. I have actually never done that before. I've never kicked somebody out, and I want to go over why. I always threaten that, if you come in my group, please provide value or I'm going to kick you out, because it's just bringing everybody down. Negativity is contagious, right? You want to surround yourself with the people who have the same goal as you. And all of the people in my group have the same goal of using reselling to reach some type of income goal. I mean, that would be the reason that you join my group, right? So this person has a very specific goal: $4,500 a week, $1,500 profit. That will allow this person to achieve whatever they want. Or not whatever they want, but their immediate objective is $1,500 a week net. And we broke it down. $50 ASP is where they want to be. That's average sale price. So pretty straightforward. 90 items per week at $50 is $4,500. If they pay $15 or so for these $50 items or less, then they'll be right there. That's the income goal they're looking for, $1,500 a week pre-tax. And remember, guys, when you're doing your goals, you are subject to 15% self-employment tax. I'm not a CPA, but you may want to nudge your goals up a little bit so that you can safely pay your taxes and still reach your goal. Okay, so we have this goal now. Now, when I think of this person, all I can think of is excuses that they can't do it. Let's think. I can think of at least 5 off the top of my head. Sex, gender. Gender is an issue. So is religion. So is where they live in the country. So is the way they were brought up. So is the way they raise their children. Somehow both of those are reasons why this goal can't be met. And every reason that you can think of that you wouldn't be able to achieve this goal, this person has brought up. And I want the calls to be about what can you do to reach your goal? How can we fit this in? 90 listings in a week is aggressive, and I'll tell you why. I've been doing this a long time. I see most people are in the 40 listing range per week. You have to go find the items. You have to take them home, prepare them, photograph them, list them, get them ready. My reseller guide is coming soon. I just lost my voice, so wasn't able to do the last couple of pods, but that'll be going online in a few days, and it is free. So you guys can check it out. You can build a healthy side hustle. But the idea of my channel, thank you for joining. If you like this content, please hit the like button, is to create an objective and then figure out the key results required to do that. That's it, right? You don't need that much information. In fact, this person asked if they could access my calls after, because I record all my mastermind calls. And if you want to, you can listen to people talk about their goals 24/7. I have like 500 hours of it on my channel, on my Patreon. But I blocked this person from my Patreon. They can't access the calls because they don't need any more information. You don't need any more information after a certain point. It's just distracting. Here's an example. If you are going to be running 100 meters as fast as you can, are you going to check YouTube? No. Are you going to open up a podcast? No. Are you going to call your friend? No. Are you going to go on Facebook and join a chat group? No. You're just going to run as fast as you can, and that's it. You're not going to put headphones on. You don't need to wear special clothing. Just do it. Just do what you're supposed to do and achieve it. It's actually easier if you don't share it with other people, because you're wasting energy sharing with other people and wasting energy caring about what they think of you. No one cares. You know what's really weird? It starts to become contagious. As you start getting more successful in your life, less and less people care about your problems. Imagine complaining about the fuel efficiency of your Porsche. No one cares. No one's going to feel bad for you. You can't be like, wow, you know what? The Porsche is really hard to fit my items into. No one cares. They're going to say, get a bigger car. No one has sympathy for you. But for some reason, we have I don't want to say a victim Olympics, but kind of like a competition for whose situation is worse. I don't want to win that competition. I'm good. And this is where I think a lot of the jaded entrepreneur stuff comes from. People who are angry with people, just do it. I don't feel like that. I don't think that's the right way to approach it. I think just calmly pick an objective and figure out what gets you there. So as an example, $4,500 a week, $1,500 a week profit, 90 items. Where am I going to get those 90 items? write down a bunch of sources, start flushing them out, figure out where you can get them. Ideally, it would be one item, right, that sells 90 times a week. But in a worst case scenario, it's 90 different items that sell randomly, right? So you have to have a big enough inventory. Let's say you have 9,000 items and you sell 1% a week. That's very slow, but that would be the opposite of having one item that sells 90 times a week. And figure out, there's really only three things: getting the supply, figuring out how to list it, and then figuring out how to fulfill it. That's it, right? Excuse me. So objective and then key results. In the case of reselling, the objective is how much money you want to make. The key results are supply and fulfilling the supply. That's it. So, if information was all we needed, everybody would have a six-pack and be a billionaire. That's from Derek Sivers, very successful entrepreneur. And I really like that. Like, you don't really need that much knowledge. One gentleman that I did a podcast with, Tech and Sports, as you guys remember, maybe you follow him on Instagram. He has a multiple seven-figure businesses, and his inventory system was by color. Okay, it's not fancy. There's no barcodes. There's no fancy anything. There's nothing. All it is just he lists 70 items a day at $40 minimum. I'm sorry, $40 average. If you do the math, 70 items times 40 is $2,800 a day times a whole year. That's $1 million a year. He manually does it, right? Of course, mixed in there are some replenishables. There are some huge home runs. And of course, that brings his income to more than seven figures. But you could just brute force this. If you really wanted to just earn $1 million gross revenue, you can do it manually, meaning you could just wake up and work all day and achieve it with no information. All you need to do is look up the items that you're buying and see if they're worth more online. You don't even need to have the internet on your phone. Actually, that's not true. You need to check comparable solds, but you don't need any content. You don't need to listen to any podcasts. You could just listen to Eye of the Tiger the whole time. If you wanted the David Goggins Navy SEAL it, you could just listen to Eye of the Tiger for a whole year and just bust out $1 million manually. Just brute force the whole thing. You don't need any information. Just go look for it. Just, what does it sell for? 50? What does it cost? 15? 90 times of that. That's $1,500 a week. Most people have a goal a little bit lower, $500 to $1,000 a week. But again, it doesn't matter what your goal is. You can break it down into key results and key activities that produce those, and then just do it. And you don't need to share. Don't share. Sharing is not caring when it comes to your goal, because you're wasting energy telling people about your goal. Nobody cares. Most people are happy if you don't hit your goals because it'll make them feel better about themselves. Nothing is more demotivating, actually, than you telling people that you're doing a good job. If you say, you know what, I did a really good job. Every single day this week went as planned, and I was able to knock out my goal. People don't care. It's way easier to care if it's like, you know what, I wasn't able to reach my goal because, I was tired, I was a little bit sick, I had allergies, my pet was acting up, my siblings were going through something, my uncle was going through something. And if you give enough excuses, every person on earth can relate to you, except for the people who don't care. Like LeBron James is not commenting on YouTube videos. He's not in any forums. He's just working all day. Although that being said, he does complain a lot. So maybe he's not the best example, but most professional athletes just do their thing. They just work and get it done. So whatever your goal is, like, you don't need to buy my guide. My guide, what it really is just accountability. It's showing you that it's not just setting these key objectives and it's about planning your day. It's about figuring out what time you should wake up. It's about surrounding yourself with positive people so that you always have the right momentum. There's a new person in my group. I got to shout out Dee Dee. She's awesome. She has this momentum way of thinking where it's just, let's just keep the chain going, right? It's the Jerry Seinfeld thing that apparently he'd never said, but he's credited with. Just write a bad joke every day and you'll become a successful comedian. Mike Birbiglia, one of my favorite comedians, does that. He goes to Starbucks at 6 o'clock in the morning, sits at the same table, and his alarm goes off. It's like appointment with Mike, but Mike is himself. He has an appointment with himself. Goes to Starbucks, writes one bad joke every day. He's one of the most successful comedians ever, right? So it's just that schedule. That's what my reseller field guide is about. It's not about how to resell. That's actually very easy. Most people who, like if I look at the average person that attends information things, it's older. It's probably 40 years old. The people who are accessing YouTube for information on how to resell are older. Younger people already know how the internet works. They just don't have the accountability. They don't have the work ethic like older people do. People who are 40 and over generally, from what, and probably the case for me too, have a much better work ethic. They've already figured out their habits, their schedule. At that point, when you're 40, you kind of have an idea of what you like to do for the day, right? What your routine should be. They work a lot harder than people who are just getting out of college and don't really have any work habits yet. That's not saying that millennials don't work hard. A lot do, but like you're not grooved into the momentum yet. So it's important to recognize, guys, that reaching your goals is very much momentum. It's very much state of mind. Marshall, is it Marshall Field? The guy that I really like that talks about, I wish I could think of that guy. I'll link him in the description below. But he basically talks about how he pays somebody to call him every day to remind him, hey, did you do the key things that you were supposed to do today? And they're like, Marshall, if you're so good at it, why do you pay somebody to call you every day? He's like, the reason why I'm good at it is because that person calls me every single day. I don't want to look like a jack. I want to not tell them I failed. And if I fail, that's okay. I don't want to tell them I failed tomorrow. You don't want to fail more. One easy way to look at it is just don't fail more than one day in a row. Everyone has hiccups. Everybody has something come up in their family, come up in their health. That happens all the time. You just do the best and then don't miss more than one day in a row. And that should help you get there. So I've been a little bit quiet recently. I've been thinking about what I want to do. I'm downgrading from living by myself in a huge house to a 400 square foot with my fiance, 4 square foot place in the city with my fiance. So, it's exactly the kind of lifestyle that I like. I used to live in New York City. I loved that life so much. I miss New York a lot. I miss the pace and I miss the hustle. I miss people that are really trying to make something of themselves. No one's from New York. Everyone is just like really, really trying to better themselves. Although, it's a little bit dog eat dog and a little bit fake, but like I miss that ambition level. Everyone there is trying to be somebody. And then I kind of went off the deep end and then I lived in the suburbs by myself because I was like trying to get away from that. Now here I find myself moving back into the city, which I like because of it has a 98 walk score. That's like the best thing ever. I'm I'm 1 block away from a lake. There's 1,000 restaurants. There's 1,000 markets I can walk to and get fresh food. Tons of entertainment. And, I actually live in the worst place in that neighborhood. So I'm okay with that. I don't mind being the small fish in a big ocean. I like that. I don't get any kind of satisfaction from being better than people, or I'm over the whole ego thing. That was what my 20s was for. I'm good now. I'm good just learning from other people. I love listening to what makes other people successful. And then I go home and see, can I add that into my life, right? I'm not jealous. I'm actually happy for people who are doing well. And I don't see that. And I think that once you start doing well, it is very weird, guys. People do not feel bad for you. Like, no, any person that's doing well, if they complain, it's front page news. That's how big of a deal it is. This person has the nerve to be the best person in the world and complain about blah, 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 right? That's how crazy that is. But then, on the flip side, there are other people who are just looking for people who are complaining. And they just find, it's like a dopamine hit. Like, oh, thank you. I thought it was just me. I thought it was just me struggling. Everybody is struggling. Excuse my language, but everyone is shit. Some people are just better at hiding it than others. That's like one of my favorite quotes. Everyone is shit, and I'm cool with that. I'm cool with being shit. I'm cool with struggling. I'm cool with sucking. I don't have any issue with that. Embrace the suck. People say that too. I like that. I have no issue embracing the suck. Like, I know that most of the stuff I do all day doesn't matter. There are only a few things I do that really, really, really matter. I should be doing those things all day, right? When you send a message to someone that you care about, that really does matter. hey, thank you for being a great friend. I appreciate you taking the time to hang out with me last weekend. That was great. It was great to catch up. That's like what's really important. And how often do people do that? It's like 2 minutes every month. People don't do that. That's the most important thing, right? And then, I was pretty pleased because I've gotten a lot of thank you cards from people, right? Like, thank you for helping me organize my reseller life. Thank you for helping me put together a list of stuff that I need to do. And that is just amazing. That's the coolest part of life, and I'm no longer like as skeptical of like sharing things that are working for me, because it's like the I was just watching a Graham Stevens video, and he was talking about the octopus effect. So like, you help somebody, right? And I don't really expect anything in return, but they have 8 tentacles. So when you do something good, something will come back to you from that person somehow later in the future. And I have done that a lot. I have done a lot of stuff in my life that has no payment, right? Just it's out there, and then hopefully that person does well. But it's come back to me tenfold. It really has. I've had amazing opportunities come my way, amazing suppliers come my way, great contacts, and then most importantly, so much advice on how to live a great life, right? What's important, how to take care of your significant other, how to take care of your health, how to take care of your reselling business, right? How to always keep your fingers on it, how to pursue less items, but better items. And that is super, super key, guys. You want to make sure that you are disciplined at pursuing less items, but better items. So, I hear it sometimes when I'm like, hey, what's the best way to make $1 million? And I'm sorry, the most straightforward way. And somebody answered, the most straightforward way is to get one item for free and sell it for $1 million profit. That's true, actually. And then in between that is selling 1 million items for $1 profit. Somewhere in between there, you can find your way in your reselling journey. So hopefully this isn't too crazy of a rant. I'm just starting to feel better. For some reason, I have some crazy allergies. And I think it was from being on the plane back from Sweden. I also watched 10 movies consecutively on the way there. I watched like Assassin's Creed, Interstellar. For some reason, I watched 5 space movies in a row on the way there. And then on the way back, I watched Bohemian Rhapsody. I watched 5 dramas on the way back. I think that screwed my head up because, I think I watched 20 hours of movies consecutively, and I think that messed with my brain. So don't do that. You guys should. I don't recommend watching 5 consecutive movies ever. Usually I sleep on a plane. I don't know, but that for some reason I watched 5 space movies on the way there and then 5 dramas on the way back, and I think that made me sick. It like confused my brain, and so just everybody take care of your health. Don't fill your brain with nonsense. That being said, I also watched what is this movie? The movie with Al Pacino where he robs a bank. It's like that's a really, really old movie, but it was a great movie. So yeah. Hopefully I'm not rambling too. I am rambling at this point, but thanks guys for tuning in, and I will see you guys soon. The reseller guide is coming out, and if you like this type of video, please comment in the description below. Let me know what's going on with you. Let me know what your key objective is. Your main objective, and then the key things that are related to getting it. So hope everyone has a great day. Take care. I'll see you guys tomorrow.